And health officials in Japan are blaming a cartoon for sending hundreds of children to the hospital.
He has declined to make a last statement.
Are you ready to tell him?
In the name of and by the authority of the state of Florida, grand jurors of the state of Florida and panel have sworn to inquire and true presentment make any court accountable on their oaths.
They're closing in because we're going to pull out. We don't know what has just happened right there. It looks like the police have closed in on him. We don't know what exactly has transpired.
This is a true story.
Denno Sense Porygon, Computer Warrior Porygon, is the 38th episode of the Pokémon anime's first season. During its sole broadcast in Nihon on December 16, 1997, a scene with flashing lights induced photosensitive epileptic seizures in children across the country. Over 600 children were taken to hospitals.
Almost every Japanese child knows Pocket Monsters and its star Pakucho. They play the Nintendo computer game. They even sing the Pocket Monsters song.
The incident is referred to in Nihon as the Pokémon Shoku. The episode was written by Takegami Junki and directed by Itani Kiyotaka and was broadcast on Terebi Tokyo.
この番組はトミーとご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。
In the episode, Ash and his friends find that there is something wrong with the Pokeball transmitting device at the local Pokemon Center.
例えば、キューコンみたいな珍しいポケモンを転送すると、送ったはずのポケモンがすり替えられたり、全然届かなかったり。
To find out what is wrong, they must go inside the machine.
そうよ、この世界に入ってこられるのは私たちだけだし。
Towards the end of the episode, Pikachu stops a wave of missiles with an attack, resulting in an explosion that is depicted by rapid flashing lights that fill the screen.
いつもとさ、なんかこの間のポケモンなんかちょっと違うなって思った子いない？
なんか光がちょっとだった。光がバーンってなんかね。
After the incident, the Pokemon anime went into a 4-month hiatus. The episode was pulled from rotation and was never aired in any other country. The incident complicated plans for an American localization of the series and resulted in new broadcasting standards in Japan to ensure future incidents would be avoided.
About 700 Japanese school-age kids were rushed to hospitals Tuesday night suffering convulsions and seizures after they had watched the bright flashing lights of a popular kiddie cartoon show called Pocket Monsters.
In fact, the Game Boy Pocket itself is a black and white unit that's handheld. But there was something, I guess, in this one episode of the TV show. The TV show has been on the air since April of 1997, but something special, I guess, was tried in this one episode, which is not clear to me yet. No one's been able to pin down what it was.
20 minutes into the episode, Pikachu stops missiles with his Thunderbolt attack, resulting in an explosion that rapidly flashes red and blue lights. The exact scene that triggered the seizures aired at 6:51:34 p.m., towards the end of the episode. It was broadcast over 37 TV stations that Tuesday night. Although there were similar parts in the episode with red and blue flashes, two anime techniques called Paka Paka and Flash made the scene particularly intense. These flashes were bright strobe lights with blinks at a rate of about 12 hertz for approximately 6 seconds. At this point, some of the viewers experienced blurred vision, headaches, dizziness, and nausea. Some suffered seizures, blindness, convulsions, and unconsciousness. The Nihongo press referred to this incident as Pokémon Shock.
愛と真実の悪を貫くラブリーチャーミーな敵役武蔵小次郎 CD デビューポケモン CD ロケット弾アイロンプリントがついて新登場
According to a survey by Nihon's Fire and Disaster Management Agency, 685 viewers, 310 male and 375 female, were taken to hospitals by ambulances.
光とかでチカチカしたりしてちょっとぼやけてるようなもんでわからんのに聞いたら倒れたって聞いて
様子がおかしくなったのはお一人なんですか？はい、こっちの上の子だけで、下の子は普通にご飯食べて普通にしてたんです。全然変わったことは何もなかったです。 その時のこと覚えてますか？どんな感じだったの？
なんか丸い線みたいなのがぼーっと動いてるような
目の前を？
なんかテレビ見てるけど、見えなかったね。なんか目が見えなくなって
目が見えなくなって
なんか少し、であまりどこに何があるのかは分からなかったからなんかここら辺が痛かった、
頭のてっぺんがどんな風に痛かった？
ズキズキくるような
ズキズキくるような意識が普通じゃない感じで話しかけても答えない感じになってきてなんか目がうつろになってどこを向いてるのか分かんないような感じになってそれでしばらく名前呼んだりとか大丈夫とかって声かけてあーとかってなんかもううつろな目してよく分かんなかったんですけど テレビのアニメーションの番組に何か原因があるだろうというふうに言われているんですけれども、これを聞いてどう思われました？ 夜そのニュースを聞いた時も鳥肌が立つぐらい恐怖を感じました。もうすごい怖いことだな。
Of these, 208 were admitted to hospitals, including 3 who were admitted while unconscious.
人間だね、コンピューターなら入ったから。だからロケットは赤いやつがピーっていったよね。ピカチュウで電気を出したらね、なんかね、赤とブルー、
There was a higher incidence in the 11 to 15-year-old demographic, with over 90% of the affected being from middle and high school age ranges. The oldest victim was a 58-year-old from Kanagawa-ken. Terebi Tokyo had a limited terrestrial coverage area, but there were some victims from outside of the network's range who received one of its stations either by terrestrial or cable overspill who were affected. Although approximately 1 in 5,000 people are susceptible to these types of seizures, the number of people affected by the Pokémon episode was unprecedented. Later studies showed that 5 to 10% of the viewers had mild symptoms that did not need hospital treatment. 12,000 children who were not sent to hospitals reported mild symptoms of illness. However, their symptoms more closely resembled mass hysteria than a seizure. A study following 103 patients over 3 years after the event found that only 22% were reported to have had seizures after the incident. 15 of these patients were determined to have had visually induced seizures, while 56 of the patients who did have more seizures following the incident also having epilepsy. The 3-year study of 103 surveyed patients also found that only 24% of them were determined to have had seizures before the incident took place. More than 3 hours after the controversial scene was broadcast, NHK General TV became the first channel to report on the seizures. At 9:59 p.m. that evening, during a news bulletin, followed by FNN's News Japan later that evening.
はい、問題の番組はですね、6時半から放送されました電脳戦士ポリゴン、これは第38話に当たるそうなんですけれども、このうち6時51分30秒から約10秒間ぐらいの間に赤い光、それから青い光がフラッシュするようなところがありまして、それを見た子ども、全国の22都道府県500人を超す、お子さんたちがですね、その症状を訴えたということですね。現在も会見は続いております。
さて宮川さん、その画面、私どもが入手しまして、ちょっと今画面にも出したんですけれども、今後ですね、一時的にせよ、もう放送はどうするのかといったような話も広報から出てるんでしょうか。
はい、現在のところですね、今日放送したのは全国の北海道、東京、愛知、大阪、岡山、福岡の6局同時放送だったんですが、その他にも買っている局があるんですね、その分については放送を中止するということですが、この放送自体についてはまだ検討中ということです。
The topic was heavily discussed on the next day's news programs, but with the footage frozen in order to prevent further damage. The following day, the television station that had originated the lone broadcast of that episode, Darivi Tokyo, issued an apology to the Nihongo public, suspending the program and said it would investigate the cause of the seizures.
番組を見ようと思っていらっしゃった中で、こんな事態が起こってしまったということにつきましては、原因はどうあれ、テレビ東京の放送をご覧になってこういうことになったということで、誠に申し訳なく思っております。
Numerous video retailers across Nihon removed the Pokémon anime from their rental shelves in response to the incidents. Officers from Otago police stations were ordered by Nihon's National Police Agency to question the anime's producers about the show's contents and production process.
Nakai-kun, 132センチ。次はピカチュウくん40センチ。大きくなったわね。
これが本当のピカチュウサイズ。トミーぬいぐるみピカチュウ1分の1。
顔よりでかい。
The episode Holiday Hijinks, which would have aired the following week, December 23rd, 1997, was pulled following the incident. It would not air until October 5th, 1998. All 37 episodes of Pokémon Indigo League were rerun on Kids Station in Tokyo leading up to the show's return on April 16th, 1998, with airing of Pikachu's Goodbye and the Battling Eevee Brothers. After the hiatus, the time slot changed from Tuesday to Thursday. Before broadcasting resumed, the special program Pokémon Anime no Mandaiten Gensho Laboto was shown. Broadcast in Nihon on April 16th, 1998, host Yatama Miyuki went over the circumstances of the program format and the on-screen advisories at the beginning of animated programs, as well as showing letters and fan drawings sent in by viewers, most of whom were concerned that the incident would lead to the anime being cancelled.
テレビの前のみんな、こんばんは。今日からアニメ「ポケットモンスター」の放送がまた始まることになりました。でもその前にちょっとお姉さんの大切な話を聞いてください。大人の方もご一緒にお願いします。良い子のみんなはもう知っていると思いますが、去年の12月16日ポケットモンスターを見て多くのお友達が急に具合が悪くなってしまいました。病院に運ばれた方もいました。まずその方々と関係者の皆さんに改めてお詫びを申し上げます。
Denno Sensi Porygon itself has never been aired again in any country. The Pokémon anime has not featured Porygon or its evolutions, Porygon 2 and Porygon Z in any subsequent episodes outside of brief cameos, despite Pikachu being the one to cause the seizure-inducing strobe effect. Pikachu! Starting on January 4th, 1998, ShowPro conducted in-person negotiations with Nintendo of America for licensing the Pokémon anime for the US market. In early January 1998, 4Kids Entertainment announced that they intended to air Pokémon in the US, albeit ensuring that the flashing effects were removed. Pokémon successfully premiered in the US without this episode in September 1998. Many Nihongo television broadcasters and medical officials, along with the United Kingdom's Independent Television Commission, came together to find ways to make sure the incident was not repeated. They established a series of guidelines for future animated programs, including that flashing lights, especially those with red, should never flicker faster than 3 times per second. If the image does not have red, it still should not flicker faster than 5 times per second. Flashing images should not be displayed for a total duration of more than 2 seconds. Stripes, whirls, and concentric circles should not take up a large part of the television screen. The Harding test for content that now airs on Nihongo TV and streaming sites ensures no more than 1 flashing light occurs every 10 frames, reproduced at 29.97 FPS, where flashing lights are classified as extreme changes in colors from one frame to the next. Footage may either clear or fail checks, or pass with a warning, in which case the video's luminance is automatically adjusted to mitigate potential effects. After the incident, TV broadcasters voluntarily added on-screen warnings to shows targeted at young children, encouraging viewers to watch anime in a well-lit room and to sit far away from the television set.